Oi, oi, all right, how is it going? I'm Grant, you're you. This is the Doodle Review, and today it's pretty much the end of June 2024. That's the second full quarter of this year, so we're going to have the Doodle Review QBR. If you're lucky enough to not work in office-bound industries, QBR is commonly known as a quarterly business review, but rather than reviewing the cost of printer ink or trying to get to the bottom of just who keeps microwaving that sea bass at lunchtime, we're going to go through the best and worst albums of the last 3 months from April, May and June. And whenever I do one of these videos, it also comes with a playlist. I love making playlists for some reason, especially when you've got lots of different styles and genres. I just love trying to mishmash and put them all together. To me, it's not about things flowing perfectly. Sometimes it's about finding those two songs that happen to flow seamlessly from one to the other. But it's also about those times where you take like a random left turn and go into a different genre for a bit. And I now have 2 of these playlists up on my Spotify, and they're linked in the description below. The first 3 months has 1 song from every single album I listened to that was released between January and March. And I've gone back since I first put this out and retrospectively updated it with a song from every album I didn't get to before posting the last QBR. And the second 3 months has 1 song from every single album I listened to that came out in April, May or June. And that is about 46 albums. If you're stuck on something to listen to, or you want to get on to something new without maybe diving into a full album, give it a go. Have a bang. Before we go into the awards, the best and the worst, a disclaimer to say these are just the 46 records I managed to get to, but there are obviously more in my queue. So Peggy Goo, Kaytranada, Umbra Vitae. I just have just a few I haven't had a chance to get to, but whatever, it's not the end of the world, is it? All right, let's kick it off. I don't know if it's cool to start with this shit, but we're gonna do that. Worst album I heard in the last 3 months. Sadly, it has to be Ghostface Killah's Set the Tone. I haven't been overly inspired with any hip hop over these past 3 months, really, with one notable exception that we'll come back to. But yeah, I have to say this is probably the worst. There's been boring ones, Chief Keef, Future and Metro Boomin, but this is the one that I'd say is outright bad. And it's a shame because Ghostface is obviously a legend. And not only that, the album actually starts off so well. There's killer features from Method Man, Raekwon and Nas right at the front, and I enjoy all of those tracks. But yeah, after like the first or second skit, which even on its own, this is not the 90s. We're not listening to CDs like Why. We're still doing shit skits. But yeah, there are a marker at some point where it just tails off after those skits and it just becomes a bit shit. First quarter, the title went to the schlock indie band The Vaccines, and had I heard it in time, I would have also given it to Justin Timberlake's latest. But yeah, in these 3 months, sadly, it's going to go to the legend that's Ghostface. But we move on. Let's talk now about best new discoveries. And for clarity, these are just artists that I've just discovered. They may well have been around for a while, but it's the first time for me. Now, actually, this is a hard one because I've discovered some great new artists for lately, like The Mesthetics, Yard Act, but their albums all actually came out before April. So I'm going to give it to some veterans who I just hadn't got around to listening to before, and that is The Libertines. All Quiet on the Eastern Esplanade is, I think, quite easily the best British rock record I've heard this year. It's wall to wall with great tunes. It's got bangers, some slower, ominous ones, great performances and production. It sounds loose but also on point. I was really, really impressed with this record, and now I kind of get the hype around the band that I've always been a little bit skeptical of. Highly recommend. Let's talk about some records I call super playable. They may not have rated that highly, might not have been challenging or lit the world on fire, but actually, as it goes, you can easily put on this record and not be offended, and maybe even sing along a little bit. And in this case, I'm gonna give it to the Black Keys and Ohio Players. Yes, now the veteran, basically jingle writing blues rock duo are continuing to pedal the lowest common denominator riffs, but you know what? The energy's pretty high, and nothing on this record outwardly annoys me. As usual, it's just toe-tapping background music. But I will say the Noel Gallagher co-written tunes are pretty great. Good stuff from both artists there. So yeah, hats off on that one. Next, let's give out an award for most surprising record. This QBR, I'm going to give it to an album released to absolutely no fanfare. By all accounts, the artists themselves aren't even putting their name on it. It's Virginia Black Yacht Rock Volume 1, City of Limitless Access. And for those that don't know, this is actually Pharrell Williams. Here, he's kind of doing a blend of, as the title suggests, yacht rock plus R&B and hip hop. It's not really quite as outlandish as that suggests. I think a lightweight, more poppy version of Lil Yachty's Let's Start Here from last year. It's not an unknown classic or anything like that, but it's fun, enjoyable, and a bit odd. It did exactly what this award suggests, which has surprised me. All right, let's go back and do some low points. Let's talk most disappointing. My first pick for this might feel a bit out of nowhere because I've not really published my full review yet, but I'm going to give it to the latest Khruangbin album, Allah Salah. Now look, I know Khruangbin have their thing, it's laid back, it's chill, it's put it on in the background music. It could easily actually be a candidate for super playable because there's nothing offensive here, but honestly, it just feels like the most unimaginative thing this group could do. If you like their other albums and want a complete rehash with absolutely no surprises, then yeah, this is it. I just honestly felt like the band had gotten a bit too high on their own chilled out fumes because this just feels a bit lazy. There is an ambient closer called Le Petit Gris, which is probably my favourite, but yeah, other than that, not good. Next, I'm going to give it up to the fast follow-up from Future and Metro Boomin, We Still Don't Trust You. They're riding high off of starting one of the biggest hip-hop beefs in recent history, and the first album itself is a great delivery from the rapper-producer pair, but putting this one out a few weeks later, it's just a bit of a snooze. It's like all of Future's slow jams with a few heaters in the last few tracks, which on a 90-minute record is just not great pacing. All right, back to the positive. Let's round up the overall best albums of the last few months. From a pop perspective, obviously, everyone is all about Charlie XCX, which I definitely like. Full review of that is coming out. But for me, it's got to be the latest from Billie Eilish. Billie and Phineas on this one managed to subvert their own minimalism, and it's fantastic. For an alternative record, I'm probably going to give it to Vampire Weekend's Only God Was Above Us. My review got a fair few dislikes and even lost me a couple of subscribers, and that's probably because I put pretentious wank ... as the thumbnail, but really the real ones, they know I was just clickbaiting. While you could easily sling around the word pretentious at Ezra Koenig, I will say this elegant but slightly abrasive blend of neoclassical and indie art rock is pretty good. Best heavy album, whether you want to call it noise rock or post-hardcore or even metal, I'm going to give it to the latest Whores album, War. If you've enjoyed records recently by Predeceased or Piss Jeans, you got to get this album. It's a fucking barn burner. Jessica Pratt is my best pick for singer-songwriter. Her long-awaited follow-up to 2019's Quiet Signs delivers the sort of sparse nighttime chamber pop that I've been craving since that record, and I highly recommend it. And it honestly felt like this quarter was maybe going to be a bit dull or shite for hip-hop until this one. Vince Staples finally came through with his brand of energetic but melancholy Long Beach rap. I will be doing a full review on this soon, but just putting it out there that Dark Times is fucking great. Right, that's the QBR, the highs and lows of the last 3 months. Time to knock it on the head. Don't forget to go check out those playlists at the link in the description, as well as full-length reviews of some of the albums that I've mentioned. And if you can be asked to do all that, and if you're still fucking here, subscribe, stick around, share some thoughts, show some love, or just post some abuse in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, mate. Take care. Mind how you go. Yeah, cheers.